If you're a fitness, health, or wellness professional looking at growing your business online, one of the biggest challenges people face is how do you create an online program to reach the masses? How can you go from a business model where you're working one-on-one with individuals so that you can reach and help more people, make more income, but also still provide a high level of value to them? If you're struggling to break out of that one-on-one business model and you're moving your programs online and you're wondering how to stand out from all the others, how do you stand out from all the others in the industry? How do you provide value in a way that makes your programs unique, make your program stand out, and not just something that people can simply go on and do an online search and get the answers for them? What I'm going to share with you today are some examples of ways that you can create your programs and what you might be able to offer online to make your programs distinct and different while still being able to reach a large number of people and breaking outside of that one-on-one model. So my name is Erica Boling, and I was able to follow my passion. I was able to use my online business and my online programs to generate income that was 3 times to 4 times more what I was making as a full-time tenured associate professor with nearly almost 20 years of experience. So I'm going to share with you today some examples. I think one of the biggest things that people struggle with is what exactly would an online program look like? Like, what would you offer? How would you present it? So what I'm going to do is share with you some different examples. I just kind of randomly picked some topics, some common topics, and I'm going to share with you what that online program might look like. And the idea here is not for you to take exactly what I'm giving you to turn it into an online program, but I'm hoping by doing this, it will give you some ideas of how you can take your specific area of expertise and how you might be able to go and create your own program, offering unique topics, unique services, and being able to reach a large number of people internationally if you choose. So the idea here, something that I want you to think about is think about your role in helping others. It's a role that you can do, and you can provide lots of value and lots of support and be super effective by educating your audience and giving them some agency to be able to implement what you teach them on their own. So you don't always have to have that one-on-one connection. You can provide personalized support. You could do online group coaching calls. You can do some one-on-one, but if you're doing one-on-one, you're very limited. You can only take so many people at a time, right? There are only so many hours in the day. So if you're struggling to break out of this mindset of how do I still provide personalized support and how do I provide value that goes beyond one-on-one, I want you to think about how you can educate people, provide them some support, and teach them the knowledge and the skills so that they can implement the things that you are teaching them without necessarily having you right next to them, kind of holding their hand along the way. Now, some people want that, and definitely you can still offer that. That could be like your higher end VIP program options, but you can totally help and support a lot of people in very, very meaningful ways without having to meet with them one-on-one. So let me go down and give you some examples here. Again, these are just a brainstorm of ideas that I did just to help you kind of get the creative ideas flowing, to give you some ideas of what you might be able to do in your own online programs. I'm going to be giving examples from the health, fitness, and wellness industry. And let's start with a big topic that I've been seeing a lot of people focusing on and getting certifications is related to menopause. Let's say we do an online program. It's going to be Menopause Mastery, Strength, Energy, and Balance for Women 40 and over. Okay. So the focus of this course, let's say, is a science-backed approach to staying strong and energized, balanced during menopause. It covers common struggles like weight gain, fatigue, while providing fitness solutions. So here, instead of saying, okay, we're going to just provide a kind of, a generic general online fitness program, we have a very specific niche. So that's going to help you be more competitive and kind of stand out from that pretty crowded online market of online fitness and wellness trainers. So next would be, who's your ideal audience? You want to be super crystal clear about this. So say women 40 and over, struggling with weight gain, low energy during menopause. So also you could just say, women dealing with menopause or women entering menopause. But if you can be even more descriptive, the more descriptive that you can be, usually that's going to help you with the marketing. So I could just say, menopausal women, or I could say specifically, this is a program that's going to focus on women going through menopause who are struggling with fatigue. So it could be kind of that defined. So now let me show you how you can then break down that topic and provide online education, online support. You could do some group coaching on these topics, okay? So it's a combination of kind of, here's some practical things for maybe exercises to do, but also educating your audience so that they can be better informed advocates for their own health and wellness. So one lesson might be, what are some of the best exercises for women to help maintain muscle and, keep that metabolism going? And these lessons don't have to be in a particular order. Again, I'm just giving you examples. Another lesson might be how hormones impact weight and energy levels and what to do about it. Women do want kind of the answers. Tell them what to do, tell them how to do it, give them their, here's a recipe, here's an exercise. But again, if you can help provide more education behind that, you're giving them more agency. You're giving them more knowledge to be able to enact. And the more knowledgeable that they are, the more informed, it can also help them in being more motivated because they understand at a deeper level what it is you're asking them to do and supporting them to do to engage with them to improve their health. The next one is how to modify workouts to prevent joint pain and reduce injury risk. When you're working one-on-one with clients, you could see things and attend to their needs individually. But if you are not able to work with them one-on-one and you want to reach the masses, you need to help teach them how to be aware of the cautionary signs, how to be able to modify exercises. Like one particular exercise that they love to do, maybe now they can't do it because their knees are bothering them. Maybe they used to play tennis and they're having issues with their wrists and their shoulders. So part of this is to educate them so they can start brainstorming and think about how to make modifications to their exercise. The next is strength training versus cardio. What's more effective for fat loss? So again, this is giving them information, but you can also give them, exercises and diet, nutritional plans. But part of this 100% in the education side and answering questions, informing them on strategies and how to make modifications on their own without you hand holding them along the way. This is something that you could have hundreds of people taking this course. The next, you might have a bonus on menopause-friendly recovery strategies, tips on nutrition, sleep, and stress management. So part of your online program could be offering these online courses, online content, online lessons. And they can be, you could have pre-recorded lessons. And then also you could do, for example, group Zoom meetings and group calls where you can do group coaching and do some Q&A sessions if you add that more personalized touch. Again, the idea here is that you can educate and support people that go beyond just the one-on-one. You can still do one-on-one, but this is going to allow you to reach a lot more people. Okay, so let me give you another example. Let's say your target audience are cancer survivors. So stronger after cancer, rebuilding strength and energy in remission. So this could be like a gentle progressive fitness approach designed for those in remission or living with cancer who want to rebuild strength, improve energy, and regain confidence in their bodies. So again, instead of just having this kind of a general fitness program, we have a very defined niche. So the ideal audience could be cancer survivors or those in remission who want to stay strong, prevent reoccurrence, and regain energy without overexerting and overdoing it, and knowing how to advance safely. So example of lessons that you might have here. So number one might be how exercise supports healing and long-term wellness after cancer treatment. Giving them some more education, informing them more on what you're doing and why. That understanding can also help on those days when they're feeling like not having the energy or their motivation is low. The more that they understand the benefits, that's just another thing that you can add to help in motivating them, encouraging them to move on. And again, to be advocates and take charge of their own health and wellness by being better informed. The next one is safe strength training routines for rebuilding muscle after chemo and radiation. When you're working one-on-one with people, you can customize those programs on the fly right there with them. But here, if you're not going to be working with them one-on-one, you need to help educate them on what is appropriate, what's safe. How do you know if an exercise is too difficult? How do you know if it's too hard? How to modify it? So all of that can be a part of your online program. Next is the role of gentle mobility work in reducing pain and stiffness. So this could be including things related to stretching, talking about the benefits of massage, and other types of ways that they can get support. Next is managing fatigue and energy dips with movement and nutrition. So if nutrition is one of your areas of expertise, again, you can work one-on-one and give people a very detailed, personalized nutrition program. But when you're dealing with the masses, right, you can give them the education and the knowledge so that they can help make those choices on their own with your guidance. The next one, when to push and when to rest, listening to your body's signals. So again, these are just example of ideas of topics that you could be doing for online trainings, online group calls, online coaching, online pre-recorded lessons. So let me give you one more example. So this would be for seniors, let's say active for life. Strength and mobility for seniors who want to stay independent. So again, think about how descriptive this is. It's not just a general kind of a generic fitness program for seniors, but we're specifically targeting seniors, but those who want to be independent and stay really active. So this would be like a functional strength and movement course for adults 60 and over who want to maintain independence, avoid falls, stay active as long as possible. So your ideal target audience, it's that active older adults. They want to stay mobile. That's a key thing. They want to prevent falls, maintain their fitness level, and keep out or limit that high impact workouts. So a rundown of some sample lessons, why muscle loss accelerates with age. Again, part of this is you're going to give them exercises and things to implement. But in addition, we want to give them some education so they better understand. And when you're not there to guide them, they are more knowledgeable in making decisions on their own on what's the best type of exercise or modification or dietary choices, right? Okay, next one, strength training for seniors, safe and effective exercise for longevity. Again, if you're working one-on-one, you can give them very specific exercises. If you're coaching to a group of people or you have a pre-recorded course, you need to be able to show them different exercises and ways to modify them, make them easier and make them harder, but you also have to educate them on how to know when the exercise is appropriate and when it's not, and again, how to make those modifications. You 100% can teach and educate them and making them able to do this and have the skills and able to do this without you having to have that one-on-one session or having them record all of their exercises and you evaluating them. You can give them the knowledge and skills so they can make the right decisions for themselves. So 100% you can do this online to a large group of people. The next, balance drills to prevent falls and keep mobility sharp. So again, this is going to be really important because if you're doing this online, you can't stand next to them if they lose their balance and help prevent a fall. So there has to be education and knowledge and skills and help build awareness for them. For example, where do you do your exercise? How do you set up your environment? What do you need to have in place to do things safely, right? What limitations do they have? On a group coaching call, that would be a great thing you could brainstorm together and say, what limitations and where can we modify and brainstorm ways to adapt and modify your environment to make it safer for each of their individual scenarios. The best flexibility mobility exercises for a pain-free movement, and also the role of nutrition and recovery and staying strong after 60. So again, just a quick rundown of some examples of how you might take your area of fitness, wellness, nutrition. Think about how you can kind of carve out your particular audience, being as descriptive as possible. And hopefully this gave you some ideas of ways that you can create some online content and support people that goes beyond one-on-one coaching and mentoring. So if you now have some ideas generating, you have some ideas and thinking about how you might take your area of expertise and create an online program that can get you beyond just working one-on-one with people, reaching the masses, generating more income. If you would like to share some ideas, get some support and feedback along the way, I would love to hear from you. I have a quick questionnaire. I will put down a link down in the description below. It's just a few short questions. Fill it out. You'll get access to my calendar. Would love to connect with you and explore the different types of options for working together if you would like to get some one-on-one support in building your online programs. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for more coming up on tips and strategies for growing your business successfully online through Fit, Free, and Fearless.